Hi, I'm Josh Neely. I'm a secondary English education major.
Hi, I'm Taylor Nicholson, and I'm an art education major.
And I am Brendan Marin, and I'm a secondary education major with a background in math. And today we'll be talking about the FEAP assessment.
To start off, FEAPS is an acronym for the Florida Educator Accomplished Practices, which are the core standards for effective educators in the state of Florida that also provide guidance for both pre-service and in-service professional educators. There are currently 6 FEAPS, and today we will be discussing the 4th, which deals with assessment.
The effective educator consistently A. analyzes and applies data from multiple assessments and measures to diagnose students' learning needs, informs instruction based on those needs, and drives the learning process. And B. designs and aligns formative and summative assessments that match learning objectives and lead to mastery.
The effective educator also uses a variety of assessment tools to monitor student progress, achievement, and learning gains. And D. modifies assessments and testing conditions to accommodate learning styles and varying levels of knowledge.
In addition, the effective educator consistently E. shares the importance of outcomes of student assessment data with the student and the student's parents and or caregivers, and F. applies technology to organize and integrate assessment information.
4A, which was analyzing and applying data from multiple assessments to diagnose students' learning needs, is important because assessments help the teachers evaluate what the student knows or doesn't know so that they can help the student achieve a greater sense of understanding in the subject matter. 4B was designing formative and summative assessments that match learning objectives and lead to mastery in students. A formative assessment is a range of diagnostic testing, either formal or informal, that helps modify teaching and learning activities. This would be a pop quiz a teacher gives to students, or maybe just simple questioning she or he presents to students to see how they are learning throughout the course. While a summative assessment is the assessment of participants where the focus becomes the outcome of a program. An example of this would be a final exam that shows what the student has learned throughout the course at the end. These are both important because they ensure success in students in accordance to the different state standards.
4C was using a variety of assessment tools to monitor student progress and achievement. This is important because teachers can use tests, projects, papers, and or presentations because each one requires a different type of thinking and collaboration skill. More specifically, when it comes to tests, teachers can use multiple choice, true, false, or short answer questions to further understand how their kids are faring when it comes to comprehension. 4D involves modifying assessments and testing conditions to accommodate different learning styles and varying levels of knowledge. Testing should be fair for everyone. Good assessments usually involve pictures for visual learners, multiple choice questions for logical people, and also oral and written parts for those who are very good at speaking and writing. However, testing should suit people with problems as well. Anxious people could have possibly more space and time during their test in order for them to help get over their anxiety. And also, anybody with a disability should have a handicap. Someone who can't write should have the chance for an oral exam or possibly be able to dictate their answers to someone who can write them down for them.
An effective educator also shares the outcomes of assessment data with their students and their students' parents and or caregivers. It's important for students to be aware of what they need to improve upon as well as what they're already strong in so that they can tailor their study habits accordingly. Their parents and or guardians should also be aware of their child's progress in school so that they can monitor their child's out-of-school learning and habits. It is important for an educator to apply technology to organize and integrate assessment information so that the information is easy to access for future reference both for the educator and their administrators, and the creation of a virtual logbook acts as a backup system in the event of a lost hard copy.
Probably assessment is important because it's important for the kids as much as it is for the teacher because the kids would need to know how they're faring. In other words, mostly just because I say the teachers know it because they're teaching it, but the kids, they're trying to figure out what they know so they can ask more questions and ask different things.
What they need to work on, what they need to study, what they need to focus on.
And it helps the teachers too because that way, depending on what the kids are doing, well on the teachers know, like, okay, I got that covered. But if the kids are all struggling on like a certain, like, let's say it's like science, and the kids like, I have no idea what a cell wall is, and so like the teacher's like, okay, let's spend some more time on cell walls and that
Or
kind
rather
of
change up their strategy.
Yeah.
So really what it is just a way to see how their students are doing and what they need to understand more or maybe spend less time on, and just by the end of the lesson or the unit, assessments will show what they've learned and how well they have understood it.
I agree. Yeah, so that's assessments.